Hello, my two-legged and four-legged friends. I hope everyone's feeling fantastic today. We are going to talk about super grains and how good they are for you. Do I feed my dog super grains? Yes. I also eat super grains, 100%. If I eat any carb at all, it will be of the whole grain family. No more whole wheat, no yeasty flours. There are tons of different flours we can use, spelt, kamut, even coconut flour. So there are a lot of options. But today I'm going to be talking about just a few of them. So here we have chickpea flour. Now this also comes in a green pea, a kale, a lentil flour. They even make pasta now out of beets. So it's just fantastic. It's just unbelievably interesting how they can formulate, a rotini or any kind of shape of pasta with just chickpeas or vegetables, but they do. So all of these multigrains, they all cook the same way. Some have a shorter cooking time than others. You just have to watch it. Why do I love chickpea flours or any vegetable or bean flour? Is because it's good for you. This is somewhat of a carb, but more a protein. Okay, so you definitely have carbs in just about anything we eat, but the protein content in this is fantastic for your dog, for yourselves, especially if you're cooking up a vegetarian meal. So we will be seeing that in our cooking class for the tofus and a few other things where I'm just cooking with vegetables. Now, oatmeal is one of my favorite things. I eat it almost every morning. I can even mix it with my granola. And I have a special way of making it, so I'll get into that in just a little bit. And I'll explain the amazing properties that it has. So the benefits of whole grains are that they're packed with vitamins and minerals. For example, iron, copper, folate, phosphorus, magnesium, and some of them actually even have protein levels to them. So it's remarkable how much nutrition you can get out of eating grains. I mentioned this in another episode about dogs and people saying, oh, they don't need grains, grain-free food. Wrong. Feed your dog some grains. Feed yourself some grains because they are good for you. Great, packed with all kinds of wonderful things. In fact, oatmeal actually lowers blood sugar levels and controls cholesterol. All right, how do you get better than that with a simple food like that? Quinoa is fantastic. Again, whole super grain, right? Just a perfectly wonderful little grain that plumps up to these little balls and a perfect addition to any dish whatsoever on the side, inside. Sometimes you can just I put some olive oil and some almonds in it and I just eat it like that. And because actually quinoa is also a protein. So another great benefit of that. Here we have whole grain spaghetti. So you can find the whole grains in any, version of pasta, just as long as it says whole grains, not whole wheat. Okay, so let's definitely keep that in check when you're shopping in the supermarket. So without further ado, let me show you how I make my fantastic oatmeal. And by the way, everything else as mentioned is just boiled. So is this kind of. You can use any cooking container you want. I personally like cooking it in a flat open pan. This way it simmers. Now, here's the thing about oatmeal. There are two kinds. One is the steel oats. Those have to cook for about 5 minutes. The other one is instant oats. You just add the hot water and it's ready to eat. Is there one better than the other? This is probably less processed. I like the 5-minute cooking time because I can actually add the ingredients that I like to add to it. So I'm going to show you now without further ado. So I have my lovely pan with my reverse osmosis water and the oats, which will just drop right in. I usually add salt to it too. It has a nice flavor when it's sweet, salty. So a little bit of salt. Now I always add coconut oil, which is, it comes in this hard form. Amazing. So you just let it warm up. And you'd cook this on, once the water's warm and ready to go, medium heat is perfect. Now, it's very important that there's enough liquid now, right? So, other than the water that I add, I actually use organic chicken stock because it flavors it and the dogs love it. Now, by the way, if I was to eat this in the morning, I would not eat the chicken stock with it. That would not be necessary because that wouldn't blend in very well with fruits and yogurts. And in the cooking process, in the 5 minutes, you just want to check it to make sure that there's enough liquid, okay? Perfect. Now I'm going to cover it up and I'll let it sit at the low temperature for a couple of minutes. Time's up. It's ready. See, that's simple. Oh, fantastic. Et voilà. Oatmeal. Wonderful. And you can even add more liquid if you want. But when I add the meats to this for the dog, it will have jus already. So this is just perfect. Et voilà. And just cover it up and let it keep steaming on its own. So remember, if you love what you learned today, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more.